Welcome to the Long Run with Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel, flying solo today, and we're going to be talking about a phrase that a lot of us use a lot of the time. And that phrase is, I'll never do that again. Now, I've used that phrase before. You've probably used that phrase before. And it's usually something in conjunction with something we've done, something that's happened to us, something that maybe something that we've actually looked forward to. We get done with whatever task it is, and we say, well, I'm never going to do that again. I ran my first marathon in 2012. I signed up for and ran the Chicago Marathon. This was 2 years after I started running in 2010. And when I went for it, I went big. Chicago Marathon, one of the marathon majors, and that was back before you actually had to, have a qualifying time or had to lottery or something, anything like that. And I just registered for it, got in on the day that registration opened, and went big for it. Yeah, and I trained hard for it. I got through the first half and felt pretty good. The second half, I didn't fuel as well. I wasn't as versed on fueling on marathons and didn't fuel very well, and I kind of hit the wall at mile 20. I remember walking more than I ran those last 6.2 miles. But the good news is that I finished, and not much more than what my goal was. My goal for that race was 4 hours and 30 minutes. And I finished in 4 hours and 44 minutes. Now I've gotten a lot faster since then, but I did cross the finish line. And as I crossed the finish line, I told myself, I'll never do that again. And I meant it. Finishing one marathon was an accomplishment. And I really felt like I didn't really want to do that again because I was done. Never again. Nope, not going to do it. But over the course of my life, I've found that from personal experience and anecdotally in the lives of others, is that the things we say we'll never do again are the things that we wind up doing again and again and again and again. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we say, I'll never do it again, and then turn around and do it again? Why do we utter those 5 words almost automatically? Well, there are a couple of characteristics about that phrase and why we utter it. First of all, they're often uttered in the heat of the moment. Now, when I said that, I just finished a marathon, and we always tend to make decisions immediately after a big triumph or a big defeat. In the heat of the moment, our vision is blurred, our emotions run high, and sometimes we don't make the best decisions. So it's best not to make that kind of decision in the heat of the moment. Second thing is this: they're often uttered in the midst of a trying or painful circumstances. Now, when I ran my first marathon, everything hurt when I was done. And it still happens like that. Even though I'm better trained and better equipped for it, everything still hurts after 26.2 miles. But I didn't expect the pain that would come with running that distance. Now, I'd run long distances. I had done 20-mile runs. But however, covering those last 6.2 caused me a lot of pain. Parts of my body hurt that I didn't even know I had. And so what's true in running and in fitness is also true in becoming debt-free. It's true in achieving goals, and it's true in just life in general. How can we keep from uttering that phrase in the future? How can we keep from uttering that phrase in the future? Well, number one, realize that failure is not final. Everyone fails. We try things. Sometimes we succeed. Sometimes we don't. So realize that failure is not final. We're going to fail. We're going to fall short of goals that we set for ourselves. It's said that Thomas Edison, in his attempt to refine the incandescent light bulb, failed at least 1,000 times in making the light bulb. And when asked about it, he is reported to have said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." And so failure isn't final. It's just a means to an end to a bigger success. Let me say that again. Failure is not final. It's always a means to an end or to a bigger success. So think about that. Second, never make decisions in the heat of the moment. Take time to breathe. Take time to cool down. Take time to think over your decision before making it final. Never let your emotions rule your life. As for me, I've completed 7, possibly 8 by the time this goes up, marathons since 2012. I've got at least one more scheduled later in the year. I'm going back to Chicago to again go to the scene of the crime and run the Chicago Marathon. Hopefully do better than 4 hours and 44 minutes. That's the plan at least. But the thing is, we need to set high goals for ourselves. Set high goals, push yourself, press your limits, do the hard things, and watch your life grow. And in the long run, it'll be worth it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell for updates when we upload new videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes in between. You just never know when we're going to drop a video window in there. So make sure you have that notifications bell clicked so that you get notifications when we upload those new videos. Drop me a comment below. Let me know about your successes and failures and how it's made you stronger. And because we want to hear that. I want to hear those things because they help me as well. So drop me a comment below and let me know some of those things that are going on in your life. And with that said, I think that's going to do it today for The Long Run with Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel, flying solo today. And don't forget, it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.